Hi everybody, orchestra teacher here. Today we're talking about strings. What kinds of strings are there? Why do we need to change our strings? How do we change our strings? And I'll give you a sound comparison between strings that are 6 years old and strings that are like 6 minutes old. So there's a lot of different kinds of strings, but I kind of break them up into three groups. We have gut strings, which are back in the past for period playing. I don't use gut strings. Nowadays, I believe they're like totally wrapped in some kind of metal. In the old days, it was just twist it up, dry it out, string it on your instrument. We have strings that are fully steel, like these helichords. A couple other steel strings are red labels, and preludes are fully steel. Generally, they're really good for students, but there are lots of fully steel strings out there that are really good, that can get you a nice professional sound, like these helichords. They are brighter, generally. It's easier to get a lot of volume, and they have a lot of good tuning stability. So if you're an orchestra teacher and you've never taught strings before and you don't want to be tuning instruments for your entire rehearsal, preludes on all your instruments is a pretty good idea. And then another very, very common type of string are strings that have a synthetic core like nylon or perlon, but then are wrapped in steel or another metal, like these Ascente strings, also by D'Addario. They have a little bit more complexity. They might sound a little bit warmer, with one of the drawbacks being sometimes it's hard to get as much volume as a fully steel string. So there's lots of different options out there, and it's up to you and your instrument to decide what strings you should get. And let me know if you want a video about deciding what strings are right for your instrument, because I can totally do that too. So why do we change our strings? Well, the more you play your instrument, the more greases from your hands and fingers and dirt from your hands and fingers get into the strings. You get rosin buildup down here. The strings get worn out, and they don't sound as vibrant or full or warm and colorful as they did when you first put them on the instrument. In the case of my cello, these strings are from when I first got my cello. They are Kaplan C, G, and D, and then a Larson A. So it's time to change these strings. Let's talk about how we change strings now. So how do we take out the string that we're changing? Well, we're going to replace my cello's A string together. First, you'll take the peg and you'll turn it towards your face. Since I'm doing this towards the camera, it's away from my face. Turn it towards your face and gently pull out, and that will start to loosen the string from the peg box side. Eventually you can just take it out, and you'll find that the end of the string is inside of the little hole. You can even see me through it a little bit, the little hole in the peg. So that's your first step. You'll take the string out of the peg, and it'll come out of the tailpiece too. While I have the old string off, something that I personally do to make the strings tune a little easier is I'll take a graphite pencil, and in the nut, I'll just do a little bit there, and then in the bridge, I'll just do a little bit there. And because graphite is a smooth metal, we use it as lubricant for keys very often too, keys and doorknobs. It will help the string move more smoothly when you're tuning it. And when we replace our strings, it's very important that we go one string at a time. So now that my A string is off, I'll take out my new strings, and I'll find the one that says A on it. Sometimes it'll say La, because of like fixed Do and stuff. So I'll find the one that says A, and I will only take that string out so that I don't confuse it with any other strings and then mistakenly break a string. That would be frustrating because strings are expensive. So now that I have my string out of the package, this is my brand new helichord by D'Addario A string, and I'm going to take it, and I'll show you like this just so that you can see it a little better. Inside the peg box, you will slide the string into the hole on the peg, and then you'll start turning it. And when you turn it in the peg box, that will make it so that it holds the string in place. Our instruments are tuned by tension and friction with these pegs. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because sometimes it takes a couple minutes. So I've gone ahead and I've gotten the string wrapped around the peg a couple times. After you do that, so the string's not flopping all over the place, you'll set your string, the ball end of your string, into your tailpiece or your fine tuner. I like to keep some tension on the string right here, so that way it doesn't unravel from the peg side. And now my new A string, the blue and gold one, is in the tailpiece and in the tuning peg, and you'll slowly bring it up to pitch. You don't want to do it fast because you could risk breaking the string. When you're tuning the pitch up, looking at the cello, you'll turn the peg away from you and push in very, very slowly because the strings are new and we don't want to break them. and we're trying to get up to an A, which is right about there. And that's how you change a string on the cello, or violin, or viola. So now we're going to do a sound demo. This is my old strings. I went ahead and I put the old Larsen back on. So Larsen A, Kaplan D, G, and C. And I'll play some Bach maybe. So that's the old strings, and now I'm going to change all the strings, and we'll get not only a comparison between the Kaplans and the helichords, but we'll also get a comparison between old strings and new strings. Alright, so I've gone ahead and I've put the new strings on. These are the helichords. And let's hear the same excerpt of Bach that I played with my old strings. Pretty nice. I like how those sound. The final bit of advice I have about changing your strings is to keep your old strings. I took my old strings and I put them in the packages of the new strings, so that way I know exactly what string is what. I don't have to look up any charts or anything, and if there's an emergency and all of my brand new strings break because somebody trips on my cello for whatever reason, then I have new strings ready to go. It's not as good as new strings, but being able to have something in an emergency is better than nothing. Last thing, students, if you've never changed your strings before, ask your teacher for help. If you get new strings and you want to put them on your instrument, ask your teacher to help you, because we've probably done it a lot of times. Just like this, I was able to do it nice and quick, and it didn't take that long, and no broken strings. That's all. Happy string playing.